This is who you are. This is freedom. The reason that you keep getting dragged into the personal world is attachment to the person. It's this Velcro that sticks on to the person. Sticks on to the person's feelings or thoughts, and it seeks to find freedom in the feelings and thoughts. It thinks, one day I'll find love in another person. One day I'll find love in what I feel. One day I'll find love in what I do. One day I'll be successful and I can earn enough money and stop working, and then I'll be free. And when it thinks that and when it believes that, then you're stuck to the person. This consciousness and the I am is sucked into this personal reality. And there's this division. But everything you look for is right here. There's nothing to be found. It's your essence. You've divided yourself and made it as if love is in the future. What you look for, peace, freedom, happiness, success, is in the future. And that's how it is in the apparent human world. But in reality, all those feelings that you imagine getting from those experiences are right here. And the reason it's blocked is because you're attached to that. And you're attached to the negative. And you've got too drawn into the negative. And you're attached to trying to fix the negative, trying to get rid of the negative, trying to feel good. But it's all here. Everything is here that you look for. Everything. Total trust. Total intimacy with it. You are love. That is who you are. You are this love. You don't need to seek it. You don't need to seek for safety. It's here. It's what you are. It's who you are. You are love. You don't need to get it. You don't need to get security. It's just coming back to what you are. And when that's seen, when that's really clearly seen, when there's been this energetic shift, then the person begins to line up with it. And the person, the characteristics of the person, it's almost like the person then becomes more and more in line with that realization. So the character becomes more free. I've noticed over the last 7 years, my character acts more and more from this love, rather than trying to manipulate things in time. And sometimes there's the effort, and then it just drops back in. This knows, and there can be a total trust of this. Especially when it's not listened to that I've had problems in my life. It's when I've listened to other people or listened to the mental over the natural impulses that come in, the initial impulses that come in, that there's been problems in my life. When I listen to the natural flow, then everything works out. But it's not even I listen to it, it's just that the character relaxes more, it stops trying to control. We're taught as children always to fear life, and that's not true. You don't have to fear life, it's yourself. You're walking into yourself. You're only going to transform into yourself, even in death. There's nothing to be afraid of. And so as this shift happens, the person relaxes more into that. It puts itself more into situations where it can just act from this place of love, rather than the intellect and fear and negativity and control and protection. The difficulty that I've found is that you carry on living in a society that's identified, so you're interacting with other people that are identifying, and they can be confusing because they can tell you something but your body doesn't feel that way, and then their feelings are confused, so you feel confused. But when you stay just with that essence of being, then it's so clear what to do. This natural flow of who you are, these impulses. You update this instrument, you update beingness with, or not the beingness, this instrument with information, and then you just let it pick, you just let it move. It knows what to do. Just like the bird knows how to fly, and the legs know how to walk, and the mouse knows how to talk. Choices know, you know how to make choices. And the way you make choices is from love, not fear, not negativity. And I'm not saying that's easy, that's something still I'm relaxing into. Other people give you this really fearful information, you're like, or sometimes there's so many inputs, you're in like a really busy place with lots of people, there's somebody around you having big emotions, and it's just confusing. But in the innocence of being, it knows how to act, and you act from love always. You don't do something out of fear, that attracts more fear. That's telling you that you've got to be afraid of this life, which isn't true. So I would say, Lisa, true happiness is the recognition of who you are, this energetic expansion back to what you are, and then on the human level, the character level, you become more and more happy as the character lines up with that knowledge. And that's most probably an infinite thing. The character can line up and expand more and more, like we could change so much as humans and live so differently. And the person becomes happier and happier, becomes more in line with itself, becomes more free. And this does take courage, because we're living in a society which is educating us to act out of fear and act out of negativity, and teaching us to interpret things negatively. You could interpret things 1,000 ways, but our society is always teaching us negativity. Just look at our news and our media and what gets our attention. It's normally something to do with fear. Just think how relaxing on the human level it would be just to act from love. Prior to an awakening, though, often people don't know what love is. They think it's a romantic thing, and sometimes people don't even know what love is. They've never experienced it before in their life. And sometimes they've only experienced it when they've fallen in love with someone. It has a quality to the falling in love with someone. And the reason it has a quality to that is because when you fall in love with someone, or even a thing, when you fall in love with music, the seeking stops. There's just a total presence with what is, and so there can be a feeling of that, a sense of existence again. So when you are with someone that you feel like you're in love with, you don't want to be somewhere else. You're not thinking about who you are or where to be or feeling ashamed. You're just totally present with them. So that gives you a taste of it, and when you listen to music sometimes, it can give you a taste of it. And I sometimes forget that some people don't know what love is. I didn't know what love was. I did know what love was in that I experienced it when I was listening to music, live concerts, when I was creating, when I was in love with someone, or imagining being in love with someone. But I didn't know that was my essence. It was confusing. I didn't really know what love was. Once you've had the awakening, you know so clearly what love is. You know that it's your essence, that it's the sense of existence, that it's beaming here. You don't need anything in order to complete yourself. There's nothing which can give you more essence. And it's so fulfilling, it's so full and empty and pure at the same time. And that's who you are. That's who listens to my voice now. You're not listening to my voice as a person, as a character. The character is being experienced just like my voice is. The character is an experience. Notice that you can see the thoughts. You can see the image of the character. You can see the feelings of the character. So how can that be the experiencer? There's something prior to that. There's something experiencing the feelings, the memories, the ideas, the past, the future. What is that? And that's always present. The same with the sense of existence. They're both always here, and everything comes and goes in that. This is who you are. This is what you are. And it can never die. And it's love. And you can totally trust it. You don't need to look for it anymore. It's right here. It's who you are. It's who you are. I love this multiple camera thing. This is fun for me. Although it's freaking out my computer, if you can hear the humming of the computer. I thought I'd manage to get away from the humming, but it's back. It's most probably because there's two cameras involved. It's very exciting. The CPU is very loud, but let's think about streaming that's takes a lot of energy from the Mac. Okay, let's see the questions. Oh, thanks, Esvan. Esvan says, what a beautiful introduction. With pleasure. I love this subject so much. I'm so passionate about it. Particularly the non-duality side. I love it. I love working with the character as well, but I love speaking non-duality. It's so beautiful. It's all you ever want. All anybody wants.